Rock, broadcasting from a van down by the river.
Now the pitch. That's a high drive, deep right center, way back. Might be out of here. It's off the wall. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. A third man scores.
Do you want to hit like a pro? Big Flies, changing the way you play one bat at a time. Handmade, lightweight wood bats, custom designed to individual orders in Chico, California. You can reach Big Flies through Babs Big Flies on Facebook Messenger or simply by calling Kevin 530-513-7371. Big Flies, changing the way you play one bat at a time.
Hey everybody, DP here. Tune in Sundays to the West Coast Wiffle Report live on Blog Talk Radio as we chronicle all things wiffle ball.
Fast Plastic is back. The 2018 Texas Open in Frisco, Texas. Saturday, October 6th, Columbus Day weekend. Battle through 24 of the hardest-hitting teams to take home the most coveted prize in the history of the sport. Fast Plastic. We're back bigger and better. $10,000 in a national championship. Register now. www.fastplasticnct.com. Fast Plastic. It's about the game.
You're listening to the Fast Plastic Radio Network. It's about the game.
And welcome to another episode of the Fast Plastic Radio Network. I'm JB alongside the host, Billy O. What's going on, Bill?
Oh, same as usual, JB. How about you? Anything new?
Just trying to beat the heat.
Yeah, that's tough to do today.
Absolutely. Looks like we got a big show lined up for tonight.
Yeah, may have a record of 5 guests.
Five. That's going to be a record, all right.
But we're going to blow through them pretty quick.
Well, good deal.
Keep people on their toes tonight.
Absolutely.
I almost didn't get here on time.
Oh, yeah? What happened?
Well, I stopped at True Value and was doing some shopping, and everybody was complaining because I brought my pet.
Aha.
I don't get it. You can't take king cobras with you in places you go these days.
You know, that's interesting because I read earlier about a guy in Florida that took his pet monkey to Home Depot and it attacked one of the workers.
I heard that as I was on my way in. Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
That's coincidental in my case.
Very much so. Very much so.
All right. Well, what do you think?
Well, I tell you what, why don't we do this real quick and we'll get Millsy on.
All right, let's do it.
Best way to tell the world about your upcoming tournament is Fast Plastic Radio and WiffleBallTournaments.com. WiffleBallTournaments.com is here to help you locate tournaments all over the nation and find the ones closest to home. If you know of any tournaments that we don't have listed, let us know. We're here to help everyone, players and directors alike. Spread the word, WiffleBallTournaments.com. You can contact WiffleBallTournaments.com, W2BWiffle@gmail.com, WiffleBallTournaments.com. Absolutely, and none other than Millsy himself's on the phone. So, Millsy, tell us about the tournaments coming up this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for the next week, I found the Cincinnati Sports League is having a men's and a co-ed wiffle ball league, and that's starting up on Tuesday in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I've played in a few tournaments and leagues like this, and they're usually medium pitch on scuffed yellow bat leagues. Next, your favorite, Backyard Rules, has tournaments in Miami, Florida on Friday, Palm Beach, Florida on Saturday, Port St. Lucie, Florida on Sunday. And these are medium pitch, unscuffed, yellow bat, run the base tournaments. Next, I have the 8th annual Boston Wiffle Ball Challenge, and that is in Boston, Massachusetts on Thursday, which is tomorrow. And my guess is that this is a medium pitch, unscuffed, yellow bat tournament. It's actually hosted by the Travis Roy Foundation. And as most wifflers know, they put on a pretty big tournament every year in Essex, Vermont. And you can probably look that up and find some pretty sweet videos of their tournaments and check out the sick fields they have. They They actually have a little Fenway, a little Wrigley, and a little Field of Dreams, and they're all bucket list fields for me to play on. Next, I have the Golden Stick Wiffle Ball Super Qualifier number 3. That is in Danvers, Massachusetts on Saturday. It's a medium pitch scuff ball modified bat tournament. After that is the 9th annual Monge Memorial Wiffle Ball Tournament, and that is in Dunkirk, New York on Saturday. And my guess for this is a medium pitch unscuffed yellow bat tournament. After that, I have Finnegan Wiffle Ball Tournament. That is in Essex, PA on Saturday. Again, my guess for this is it's probably a medium pitch unscuffed yellow bat tournament. And Finnegan is actually a Mummers Brigade. And if you've ever been down to Philly, they have a pretty big New Year's parade every year. And if you know anything about the Mummers, they like to drink, especially the comic division, which is what Finnegan is. So you can expect that there's going to be a lot of alcohol flowing at this tournament. I've actually been a part of that parade for 3 years now, and I can say it's usually so cold, there's a lot of blackberry brandy flowing around to keep you warm because the beer usually turns to slush. It's so cold out. And last but not least, I know he's coming on later to talk about it. Tim Cook will be on later, but Mid-Atlantic Wiffle is having the Wiffle War in York, PA on Saturday, and that is a fast pitch scuff ball modified bat tournament.
All right. Sounds like a busy weekend coming up here.
Yeah, definitely not as busy as the last two, but I've found that since I've had this site, you can pretty much find a wiffle event almost every weekend of the year.
Yeah, you're doing a heck of a job. I was browsing through today, looking around, and just amazing that you're getting all the guys, to come to you and post their tournaments on your site. That's really cool. Where did you say the Finnegan event was again?
That's in Essington, PA. It's
okay.
It's about like 20-30 minutes outside Philly.
Okay, yeah. That sounds really cool, man. I wish I was closer. I might have to check that one out. But
yeah, they apparently they've been putting it on for a few years. They took a little break in between, and they're bringing it back. So hopefully they'll keep it up for the next few years.
Nice. Well, we really appreciate it, and guys, be sure you get out there, wiffleballtournaments.com. Check it out. Adam,
yeah, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys having me on every week. It's definitely helping people reach out. That's for sure. I've had a few emails even just within the last couple of days with people trying to get their tournaments posted. So it's definitely very helpful.
That's awesome. Well, we're glad to have you, Millsy.
Yep.
Anytime, guys.
It's like I told you, Millsy bats leadoff for the FP Radio Network.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Have a good one.
Yeah. You have a great weekend, Millsy.
Have a good show.
Yep. See you, man.
Yeah, you too.
All right, Millsy. Boy, I tell you, he's just right on the spot every week, isn't he? He's raring to go.
Yeah.
Glad to have him.
That home rule, backyard rule wiffle, man, those guys are rocking down in Florida. When they have like 4 tournaments coming.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got a lot. But you know what? That's great.
That guy's gradually converting Florida to become the wiffle ball playing capital of these United States.
I'd say he's on track for it, definitely.
Yeah, so big show tonight. Like I said, 5 guests. We got 1 in the books, 4 to go. Next up, let me check my list here, JB.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get our next caller.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and do that? Our next guest is no stranger to the show, or as far as that goes, any show. He's been on quite a few times. Tim Dean, down in the Austin, Texas area, is going to come on, talk to us a little bit here about his past tournament. It was huge success, and about the tournament he's got coming up, which is probably going to be even huger. So stick around. Be sure to listen to that. But I'm calling tonight's show the 3 Tims, because we've got 3 guys named Tim coming on the show tonight. So Tim Dean, Tim Stewart, Tim Cook, along with Rob Longeroux a little bit later on. And then finally, in mid 8 o'clock hour, somewhere in there, I will actually unveil the Fast Plastic Texas Open brackets tonight. no joke this time. I really will do it, and we will have those up on Facebook where you can go along with me as I'm explaining it, and then afterwards we can take calls. So, JB, back to you.
All right, we've got Tim Dean on the line. Tim, how's it going?
It's going pretty.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Well, welcome back to the FP Radio Network tonight. Tim, this is Bill, by the way. We want you to tell us a little bit about your past tournament that you just had, and then a little bit about the one you got coming up. It's pretty big news, right?
Yeah, it is. You know, we sort of did a few years ago what Fast Plastic did, and we sort of disappeared for a while. And a couple years ago, we started bringing, doing a couple of tournaments during the summer. And this year, I just started doing a little bit more effort in marketing, and it seemed to have paid off. We had this past weekend, we had a medium pitch tournament. And I've never done one like that before, so it was a little bit of a learning process. And we had a full, we filled up, and actually had to set up and Billy, you're familiar with my fields. I actually had to set up a fourth field that's across the parking lot, and had to set another one up. But it went really well, and I'm really excited about it because it brought in because we did medium pitch, it brought in a lot of new faces and new teams, and got some other people pretty excited about playing. So very encouraged with that. The furthest anybody came in for that tournament was from San Antonio, and we're in the Austin area. Now, next weekend, a week from this coming Saturday, we're doing our first fast pitch tournament of the season. And, so we've already gotten some teams signed up, and I got a phone call from Jonathan King just a few moments ago saying that they're bringing some teams from the Dallas area that are playing in that Texas Wiffle Ball League, that there may be 2 or 3 teams coming down for my tournament. Now, the big news is that, Fast Plastic has given us graciously given us an opportunity to declare the winner of my fast pitch tournament next weekend, to be able to get a bid, automatic bid to the national tournament in October. So, Billy, I appreciate you and the board of directors making that decision to help us out, because I think it's brought a little bit of more interest into this tournament. So, anybody listening to come, Austin's a great place to be. So if you want to come in and spend the weekend here in Austin and play some wiffle ball on Saturday, come on. So we're pretty excited about that, and I'm excited about the fast pitch tournament. I'm excited about Jonathan and some of those guys coming down. Especially, I've got a couple of kids, and I say kids. Billy, you and I say kids. Anybody younger than us is a kid.
Yeah.
So, I got some guys that play that actually throw pretty well, and I'm anxious to see how they will go up against some guys maybe from the Dallas area that's been playing and doing it a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's all exciting news to hear. So you're getting, for your last tournament, you had 11 or 12 teams, is correct?
Yes, correct.
I would expect you to be right there, around that same threshold. So that's really good. That's good news, man. It's rebuilding gradually. We're all going to work together and get it back to where it once was, maybe even bigger. So I think the time is right.
Yeah, the winner of this tournament, this medium pitch, was actually a team that routinely plays in the fast pitch. It's a team called Gonna Whoop Me. They're not going to be intact for next weekend because one of them is going out of the country for a little bit, but it's led by Jeff Wilkinson, who has played in numerous tournaments of mine over the years. And he actually teamed up with, back in years ago when I used to hold a state tournament, he teamed up with Tiger King, who I think you have met before. And they ended up winning my fast pitch state
tournament division that particular year. And so he's a really good player. And he's playing with his son. They played as a two-man team this past weekend, but did really, really well. I had some other familiar faces that showed up. And so it took some adjusting to get used to medium pitch, but it actually sort of, you can just play it for fun. And I think everybody that played it really enjoyed it. And I think it's given them a taste, because I think fast pitch, like I told you before, I think this medium pitch is an incubator to get more teams playing.
Yeah.
And learn the game in a non-threatening atmosphere. It's not fun when you come out as a first time you play and someone throws a 75-mile-an-hour fastball with a wiffle ball past you, and you just go, oh man, what did I just get myself into? And so I really enjoyed it, and everybody did too. And I think it's going to make it for a good catalyst to build up the fast pitch program.
Yeah, that's great work, Tim. I appreciate it, and hope everybody else does. And hopefully somebody may sneak in there this upcoming tournament, someone you're not expecting, and win that. Some no-name new team out there. And but in any event, we will be watching, and appreciate you coming on, giving us an update. And I'm going to reveal the brackets and tournament format, as I stated earlier, for the Open tonight. So stick around for that. Tim.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be cool. And if you want, I'll call back after my tournament and give you an update how it went.
Yeah, let's do that.
Absolutely, Tim.
All right.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. Well,
thanks, guys.
I'll be in touch. Have a good one.
Have a good one, Tim.
All right, you too. All right, bye.
All right, Tim Dean from Texas. Sounds like he had a pretty good turnout for his tournament.
Yeah, that's a great place to play down there. Of course, we've talked about it a few times. Permanent fields, great equipment, great setting, backdrop. If you fly in, drive in, whatever to play, then you've got the city there to hang out in before or after. So it's just a great way to go.
Absolutely. We want to take a quick break before we get our next caller on.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the Fast Plastic Radio Network. Fast Plastic Radio Network.
Hey, everybody. DP here. Tune in Sundays to the West Coast River Report live on Blog Talk Radio as we chronicle all things wiffle ball. Hey, everybody. You're listening to WROC 93.5, the Fast Plastic Radio Network.
All right, we're back. We're going to get our next caller on the line. You want to tell a little bit about who we've got coming up, Bill?
Well, we've got Tim Stewart coming in from southeast Tennessee. He's running a tournament down that way, National Wiffle Tournament. And Tim's been around for a while. I would say since maybe 07, 08, somewhere in there. It's been known to be a bit controversial at times, but anyway, I just wanted to talk to him tonight, let him tell us a little bit about his tournament. And I have a few questions to ask him. But anyway, going back to Tim Dean in Austin, as you heard, Tim said that the winner of that tournament is receiving an auto berth to the Texas Open, which is true. So, guys, that now puts us up around 11 teams or 11 slots that are now taken, which leaves us with around 13. So there's going to be 3 teams that don't register for the tournament, simply stated, because we don't need to. That'd be Kings, mine, and then Will Marshall. We just pay cash on site. So anyway, it's going to fill up quick, guys. You can still take advantage of that $100 registration fee. So
can I get you to verify that number? Because the number that we've got is saying it's not in service.
Not in service.
Not in service. While you're doing that, we're going to take a quick break one more time. Stick around, folks. We'll be back just momentarily.
You're listening to the Fast Plastic Radio Network. Fast Plastic Radio Network.
Now the pitch. There's a high drive, deep right center way back. Might be out of here. is off the wall. One run is in. Two runs are in. A third man scores.
Do you want to hit like a pro? Big Flies, changing the way you play one bat at a time. Handmade, lightweight wood bats, custom designed to individual orders in Chico, California. You can reach Big Flies through Babs Big Flies on Facebook Messenger or simply by calling Kevin 530-513-7371. Big Flies, changing the way you play one bat at a time.
This is Ed Packer, defending Texas Open champion, and you're listening to 93.5 WROC The Rock, home of Fast Plastic Radio.
You're listening to the Fast Plastic Radio Network.
I am Adam Milstead, and my favorite station is Fast Plastic Radio.
My name is Inigo Montoya, and I listen to Fast Plastic Radio.
This is Babs from Chico, California, and Big Flies, and I listen to Fast Plastic Radio.
This is Sylvie Serrano, Oakland, California, and I listen to FP Radio.
And Carl Coffey.
I'm Jim Balling. I'm from Peoria, Arizona, and The Rock is my favorite wiffle ball network, hands down.
Jared Lamp, founder, owner of Moonshot Bats, Fast Plastic Radio Network.
Fast Plastic Radio Network. It's about the game.
All right, we're back, and we're going to try to get a hold of Tim Stewart again. We're going to see what's going on here with Tim. Looks like maybe he's getting messages or whatever, but
I may have a second number coming in here, JB.
Okay, well, that'll be great if you've got a second number because
unbelievable.
The first number didn't work, and I almost thought we were getting coffeed.
Yeah, you don't want to get coffee. Try this one. Let's do.
All right, go ahead. Well, I don't know if you want to put it out here. Right there. All right, let me try that one real quick, and then we'll be right back. So go ahead, Bill.
All right, so got a little rain delay going on here on the FP network. Hey, it happens, right? We just got to work through it. So again, got him coming on. Gonna have a few questions for him, and hopefully this will answer anybody's questions that you might have if you're considering playing down there in Tennessee. So hope to help some guys out. As I was stating earlier, the Texas Open, I think we have, what did I say, 13, maybe 13 spots remaining to fill. And $100 entry fee. You cannot register unless you have your roster set. So guys, get together. There's some big time players out there that I have yet to hear from. So I don't know what you're waiting on, but can't hold spots for you until the very end. I can tell you that right now. Also, I had quite a few guys stating that they're going to register, but have yet to see their names pop up. So, and I can tell you too that King and I have been talking, and we're expecting 6-7 teams just from the Texas regions. All right, JB, where are we at now?
Well, we're right here where we're at, and we've got Tim Stewart on the line. Tim, welcome to the Fast Plastic Radio Network.
How are y'all doing?
We're doing all right now. We seem to run into a rogue phone number there, so got that worked out. Thanks for coming on, Tim. We appreciate it.
Welcome.
So you got a big tournament coming up here in a couple weeks, and I wanted to bring you on, give you a chance to tell us a little bit about it, what you're expecting, who you expect to show up, and then I got a few questions that I'd like to ask. And so just first of all, explain to everybody where you're located, where the tournament will be, and then we'll go from there.
All right. So we're located in East Tennessee. We're about 30 minutes west of the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. Right here, I guess what you call the Smoky Mountains. So we got some nice scenery around here.
Okay, so are you like? I've heard some guys say that it's a pretty rural area, but I'm wondering, is it easily accessible? Interstate? Is there nearest airport would be Knoxville, I guess?
Yeah, Knoxville would be the nearest airport. We have 2 interstate exits right here in town. It's not a huge place. I mean, we got about 4 or 5 hotels. We've got, Walmart, basic stuff, any small town would have. We got about population is about 7,000 people here.
Okay, and so this is your second year running this tournament. Last year, tell us a little bit about last year's tournament.
Last year was it was a beginner tournament, really. We had a great turnout. We had 8 teams. We get 2 local teams, and then the rest come from. We had teams from West Virginia, Georgia, and Texas. Our two best teams there, of course, had played in, I guess, Golden State in years prior, and then they played in Fast Plastic, I think, last year, which Texas did. I don't think Trent's team did. But it was a great tournament. We had a great turnout. We had some new talent there, talent that I've never, saw. Never really got to meet the guys that was there. It was the first time meeting them all, other than Corey Pitts. Great bunch of guys. Great to be around. It was a great atmosphere. I really enjoyed it. A lot of times it's a hassle to run tournaments. You hate it, and this is one I can actually say that I really enjoyed putting on. I guess it made it kind of worth it losing, and just getting to enjoy the rest of the tournament going on.
Yeah, usually a tournament experience is great, and you get to meet a lot of guys, that you remain friends with, and it's just a mass coming together of like-minded players. So, once you figure out how to work through the system, all the kinks, getting your first one out of the way, I think it gets a lot easier after that. So maybe this year you'll feel a little bit better about it. I was looking on your website. First, tell us what your website is so we can get guys going there.
So it's nationalwiffle.com.
Okay. They're looking around. I looked at your rules, various information. It's a nice looking website. Looks like you've done work on there. One rule that jumped out at me, I haven't ever seen this before. You allow 6 balls, so your pitch count strikes 6 balls, correct?
Yes, that was how we played it last year. We actually voted to change that this year. I have not got around to updating the rules yet. I plan on getting that done hopefully tomorrow or Friday. But now we are playing by the 5-ball rule.
So 5 balls, okay. All right, that's pretty common. I see that quite a bit. Also, I noticed whenever you go through the registration process, there's no entry fee. How are you taking registration fees? How's that? Walk me through that process.
Okay, so we have a registration cutoff, which is 29. So once you register a team, your entry fee is not due till July 10th. So the way I set it up is instead of just taking it through the website, I just typically give the guys my PayPal info, and we set it up that way. So I do know a lot of people nowadays is really touchy about paying with their card through a website. PayPal seems to be the safest way to do it. Which I know people can set it up that way, but some people are just iffy about it. So I tend to just do it, all on my own.
Yeah. Okay. And then I read a little bit where you stated you had a circuit, like the National Wiffle Circuit. So have you had any of these tournaments anywhere? Where were they located? And are they sending a team? I know you mentioned last year you had some teams coming in. What about this year?
So of course this year we didn't technically get to run our circuit. Things didn't work out the way I was hoping. I was hoping maybe we'll get to grow a few more years before we get to do that. But we did get to actually host a tournament down here in February. We got the Mustadines from Georgia who showed up. We got a team from West Virginia who showed up, and then we had 2 Tennessee teams. And I mean, that 4-team turnout on February 3rd, when it's 40 degrees outside, that was decent enough for me. I know it's not great in some people's minds, but when it's 40 degrees and, your second field is frozen over still, I think it's a decent enough turnout.
Yeah, that's awesome if you're actually out there playing on ice.
Yeah.
So then the last thing I have here is I see you is it a guaranteed $2,000 payout? How does that work exactly?
So our payout is just based off our team. I will do 100%. So we had, 12 teams at, 200. I think I was running a deal up till June 10th for $200. So we had 12 teams at $200. I just give out 2,400. We do that for our fast pitch. We do 100% payout for our home run derby, which typically, is about $300 or $400. And then we also do 100% payout for our medium pitch tournament.
So does all of the payout go to first place, or are you divvying that up to multiple teams?
It'll all go to first place. I know that kind of it probably sucks for second place, but some of these guys travel from far away, so I mean, if they earn the right to win it all, then they earn that right.
All right. Yeah, I get that. That makes sense. All right. Well, we're running short on time because we weren't able to get you right off the bat, so I apologize for that. But real quick, again, Tim, tell us your website, best way to get a hold of you, and real quick what the cutoff date is one more time so everybody out there is clear.
Okay. Our website is nationalwiffle.com. The best way to reach me probably is just through our website. You can do anything through there. You can even hit the chat with us, but it comes directly to me, and I can respond to that. And our tournament cutoff date for registration is June 29th.
Very good. So I appreciate it, man. And if anybody has any questions, get a hold of Tim. He's got all the answers for you. Hope you have a great tournament. Maybe after the tournament's over, we'll get you back on here and you can give us the results.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a good one.
Have a good one, Tim. All right. Tim Stewart out of Tennessee. Sounds like he's up in the hills in Tennessee.
Yeah. I didn't really get a chance to ask him anything else because we lost that valuable time tonight of all nights. Not a good night for that.
Not at all.
So next up, we got Rob Longeroux. Rob just ran the Golden Stick Yard League tournament up there. I think it was, number 3? Number 2? I can't remember. I'm going to have to ask him. That's why he's coming on the show. But anyway, in New York, I'm going to have him tell us a little bit about that. And then I want to talk to him about his Palisades WBL pitching performance from this past weekend on Game of the Week.
All right, we got Rob Longeroux on the line. Rob, how you doing?
Doing well, gentlemen. How are you?
Doing great.
Not too bad.
Thanks for having me back.
I brought in a cage full of birds tonight and had it sitting here, and JB had me move it off camera, so sorry about that.
That's quite all right.
I do apologize.
I'll let Toast lead the comment section for that comment.
All right. So, Rob, thanks for coming on. Crunching here on time as always, but first thing I wanted to talk to you about was the last Golden Stick Yard tournament you ran. Can you run us through that? Give us some results. Anything jump out at you? Things like that.
Sure. Happy to switch it up here a little bit and talk some medium pitch for guys who are more familiar with the fast pitch game. We play a yard version on Long Island, and it's a good mix of strategy, competition, and skill. It doesn't have as steep of a learning curve as fast pitch may have, but it's still incredibly intense. And we have a lot of guys that are playing both fast and Yard League, both in Palisades or Fast Plastic, and also in Golden Stick. So we're utilizing kind of the same player base, and it's almost an easier way to get guys accustomed to the game itself, and then let them make the decision if they think they can hang in fast pitch somewhere. So last week, or the last couple of weeks, we ran 2 events on Long Island with 12 teams in each. We had some overlap with the Palisades League, so guys kind of had to make a choice a couple of the weeks. So we're expecting some larger events into July during their break time. So overall, the event was just awesome, stacked with like a ton of upsets, including the enemy, which in Yard League is Kevin Norris, Dave Wegerson, Ty Wegerson, and Sean Handel. And, you know, these guys are veteran whifflers in all sorts of formats, and they've dominated the medium pitch since they were about 13 years old. So they've been originated as the Blue Razors when they actually first used football, and they've, you know, been the gold star of our region ever since.
Okay, well, that's cool. So, was it? What is the format that you usually run for the yard leagues? Double elimination, round robin? How does that work?
We're actually running a round robin pool play style. So every week we break teams up into 3 or 4 team pools. We play 3 games of round robin and then cut to 12 or 8 or 16, depending on the amount of teams at the event. And then we run a straight single limb all the way to the finals. And we utilize a point system so we can have a cumulative scoring system throughout the year to encourage play and increase your seed to get to the Open, which will run in Staten Island in August.
Okay. And how does that tie into the yard league being ran in Boston? Are you going up there for that, or you just stick to New York?
We do. We have teams that travel to Mass. I did it for years. We do plan to have an all-star weekend towards the end of July, where teams from New York will go up there for a tournament, and the morning after we'll do a pretty cool all-star game. And so we always try to support each other when we can, but a lot of the guys in New York are playing in multiple leagues and formats, so we're doing what we can, and we do look forward to going up there, though. It always is a great time, and that's really where this league originated. Lou does such an awesome job, you know, putting on national events, and we always try to support, you know, our roots up in Massachusetts.
Is Lou running that tournament, or has he delegated that off to somebody these days?
He's doing it for the most part. I know they ran their first event earlier this month. Him, Dean App, and John LeBrun, I think, run a majority of their events, and you know, I think they're working on a lot of new players, along with you know, bringing a lot of these vets out of the woodwork as the game starts to kind of regrow, I guess.
Yeah, that's good. Well, great. Sounds like a pretty good time playing.
Yeah, we actually had the Mid-Atlantic guys, Tim and Paul Cook, came up this weekend, and they got their first taste of yard ball. So it's a good way to get some young kids and just new players to the game acclimated, and you kind of find out you take a barometer test of really what they are as a player, and then kind of steer them in the direction. You know, there's so many veteran guys that are resourceful and, you know a talent when they see them, or see a guy that, you know what, this guy really is fit for fast pitch. You know, maybe you and your buddy should try a tournament somewhere. So, you know, that's how we've been trying to promote the game as a whole this year. You know, we have a real great community all around of whifflers. So they're in it for the same reason I am, which is to grow the game and to have more competition around them. That's, you know, to me, that's the goal for every player.
Yep. Well, you're doing a hell of a job. So I definitely appreciate it. Keep it up.
Thank you. And you guys have a great outlet to let us speak our minds and just talk the game. And it seems to pick up more traction each week, and I'm happy to come on whenever you want.
Well, I will definitely have you on many, many more times. But before I let you off here, I've got a few numbers here I want to read off. 12 strikeouts, 0 walks, 94 pitches. Does that sound familiar?
I don't know. Who was counting my pitches?
I was.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty efficient, no?
That's very efficient. That's the kind of games I like to watch. I was amazed. The guys were commenting on how quickly you were working, you know, each time out on the hill, and it was just a fun game to watch. I noticed, by the way, we're talking about the Palisades game of the week, where our guest here, Rob Longeroux, on the Cardinals, faced off against the Giants. It was a great game. Both pitchers throwing well, some really big home runs, went extra innings. But Rob here, he was in a groove. You know, there's sometimes when you're throwing, it seems like everything you do is right, and you just can't get the ball back in your hand fast enough to throw another one in. And I felt like you were in that, you were in that groove, and you didn't want to lose it. But I noticed too, I also was tracking your pitches, I guess charting them a little bit, kind of looking. I noticed you were throwing a ton of sliders, or what appeared to me to be sliders. Is that normal for you? Do you normally throw that many?
Well, I don't want to give away too much here, but yeah, I mean, I generally throw, I throw all the conventional pitches, slider, riser, drop.
Yeah.
And, where I really find myself successful is when I have off-speed stuff working. And, with Palisades, it's definitely a different, it's very different when you pitch, because I'm so used to, for years, pitching with one ball. And I do like to work quickly. I am a guy who gets the ball back and likes to throw. But at the same time, when you have a bucket, you have it's easier to work almost too quick. And I found a good groove where I was working quick enough. But when I first started there, I was just throwing a ball, picking up another one, and going and going and going. You're out of breath by the end of an at-bat. And it's just a tough adjustment at first. And I really did have trouble with my stamina early on in that league. And now I've kind of found a better groove. And, for me, when the wind is going the right way and I don't have to worry about overthrowing, I could throw my off-speed stuff and just, mix it up. I actually texted Bumpy earlier today and, thanked him for the nice broadcast that they did. And I told him the best part of it was when you guys were trying to guess my pitches and were wrong pretty much every time. So at least I had them guessing too, because I have to pitch to them eventually this year as well. So.
Right. I mean, I think you made 2 mistakes pitching in that entire game, which is really good. Obviously, the big home run you gave up, top of the 5th to Ryan, and then Fisher almost got one on you there. Those, to me, that was the 2 mistake pitches. But the 5th. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to agree with you, and just want to commend Ryan. We've played several games over the last few years, and I generally have gotten the edge over them. For whatever reason, I'm able to get them out pretty effectively, but they're just awesome hitters. Ryan and his brother Tim, and Fisher I've been facing for years, so I can't say enough about them as hitters, because that certainly brought my level up, knowing I'm facing a polished lineup like that. And I did watch the video probably like 5 times since Sunday, and I did notice I was going first pitch slider to Ryan every at bat. So I'm not surprised he eventually got one. So I'll work on that.
Yeah, I agree. I noticed the same thing, and that one he hit was just a lazy one that laid right out over the plate. So, but anyway, that was an awesome game, man. I'm going to tell Brett that you need to pitch every game of the week this going forward, so we can get that kind of entertainment on a board.
There's plenty of good talent out there, both ex-Golden Stick players, homegrown Palisades guys, guys playing in yard leagues and all sorts of formats. Everyone should get their share on Game of the Week, I feel. It's taken me 3 years to finally get on there. So hopefully Brett, I like how Brett does mix it up and gives everyone a shot on there. So, and just like this radio show, the Game of the Week is clearly picked up a lot of traction, and it's great. It's great for the game.
Yeah, it is. It's really
we're trying to do the same, down in New York, but it's tough. You need guys that are willing to sit there and do it, and it's it's not always that fun.
Yeah,
it can be boring wiffle games.
All right, well, I mean, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk with you about, Rob. Appreciate you coming on, man. I know you got another gig to get to right now, so I won't keep you.
Oh, well, I appreciate the time, guys, and hope to speak again soon.
All right.
Sounds good, Rob. Have a good one.
Yeah. Be well, guys.
All right. Sounds like that was a good game there. He's, sound like he'd had a hell of a job pitching.
Yeah, if you haven't watched it, get over there to Palisades WBL Facebook page, and you can watch a lot of games, actually. But the one I was just talking about was played last Sunday. It was great. I actually I've talked a couple times that I do this Fast Plastic Fantasy League, right? And coincidentally, the pitchers that I've selected are sort of what I guess would be the all-time greats going back through all the eras, and the the statistics for an individual plays out very similar to Rob's statistics in that game. In other words, on average, you would have about 12 strikeouts, very low walks, bases on balls, 0, and low run count, low hit count. So it's just so that's like an all-time great pitching performance right there.
Absolutely.
And he had a perfect game going until the 5th inning, until he gave up that home run, and then a couple guys scattered a few hits. So anyway,
that's the way it goes, though.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. So what's up, JB? Are we doing good on time here?
We're right on time. Actually,
okay.
we got a couple minutes to spare.
All right.
So
anything we need to go into?
Well, no, not really. I mean, we're pretty close on time, on schedule. Actually, a little bit ahead of schedule. We could do the shirt of the week right now if you wanted to, or we can wait. Your call.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it.
All
and
right.
I'm actually very thankful, very happy that we haven't been coffeeed yet.
I know, that's really good. So let's get to the shirt of the week.
You have a shirt that you really love, one that you feel so groovy in. You don't even mind if it starts to fade. That only makes it nicer still. I love my shirt.
All right, it's the shirt of the week. Tell us about that shirt, Bill.
This shirt of the week comes to you from Chi-Town, the Windy City, circa 1999. This is actually a shirt that I still wear occasionally because I like the color.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, it's not intrusive in your face, and I kind of like that. But I was given this by old Pistol Pete Reynolds, old cuss that used to run some stuff up in Chicago. He actually invented home run walls that were what would you call printed with old baseball stadiums. So in other words, when you were hitting, you look like you were playing in Ebbets Field or Crosley Field.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So anyway, his organization was called National Pastime, and I'll show you the front, and then I'll flip it around. You can see the back of the shirt. It's kind of cool.
That is, National Pastime right there on the front. Let's see the back. That's pretty cool.
Can you read it?
Well, I can see the National Pastimes, but I can't. Yeah, now you can see it. Ebbets Field. That's a pretty cool shirt.
Yeah, again, so Pete Reynolds, old cuss, used to run a few tournaments. We actually played a pretty big event at the Arlington Horse Track, on the track in Arlington, which is a suburb of Chicago.
Really?
During some sort of a festival where he had his stadium set up. And right next to us was a giant stage where the bands REO Speedwagon and Survivor were playing while we were playing this tournament.
Well, that's pretty cool. Well,
I guess.
Cool. All right. Well, we got our next caller on the line right now. We've got none other than Tim Cook. Tim, how you doing?
Great. How are you guys doing, JB, Billy? Thank you for having me back.
Right on. Glad to have you on, Tim. I think we're doing great.
All right. So let's just get to it. I got two things to talk about tonight. The first is, let's just dive into it right away. And then I have a MAW announcement at the end. So let's roll. So tonight I want to talk about leadership. Great leaders are what make any venture successful. Leadership, enthusiasm, energy, and a sprinkling of luck usually leads to good things. So first tonight I want to talk about a little bit of history, because if you don't know and learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. So back in 2001, January, in fact, 11 people from around the country came together in Baltimore, Maryland, and we tried to tackle a massive wiffle ball problem. Billy kind of talked about this last week at the top of the show. The problem we were trying to tackle, uniting the players across the country who love to play the hit pitch field style of wiffle ball. What solution did we come up with? It was the reformation of the United States Perforated Plastic Baseball Association, which ran in 2001 and 2002. And though the USPPBA was short-lived, the best thing it did, at least in my opinion, was it finally got a cohesive set of rules that could be played in all regions of the United States. Prior to 2001, 90-degree fields were the exception, not the rule. You played on those little triangle 75-degree fields. I know I played on fields that were probably 65, 60-degrey angles. Prior to 2001, most tournaments had pitchers throwing to a cutout rectangle in plywood, all different sizes, all inconsistent pitching distances. There's even more examples, but that's not what we're here to talk about tonight. When the USPPBA dissolved at the end of the 2002 season, there were questions. Is this still viable? Why was something that was set up correctly with everything from official incorporation, and I've got copies of the stocks that each of the 11 board members had, and an organization that had an amazing set of world-class portable traveling fields just not work out? So why did it die off? There's many reasons. Maybe we'll talk about some of those in the future of the show. But what we're here tonight to talk about is the end result of the USPPBA dissolving was this. Two leaders, one who's on the show right now, Billy Owens, and Bruce Christie, took the reins and formed Fast Plastic. These were two guys who loved the game, two guys who yearned for a system in which a true national champion could be crowned after a full season of play in a region leading to the national championship in Cedar Park, Texas. Their jobs did not come with a salary. In fact, I'm willing to bet that they lost money out of their pockets over those 7 years, but you would never know from talking to them. Fast Plastic thrived from 2003 to 2009. The closest wiffle ball has ever made it to a truly national stage. It was the dedication and selflessness that made those 7 amazing years. When Bruce retired in 2007, Billy took the reins himself and continued for 2 more successful years before burning out. And who could blame him? You're not getting paid for this. This isn't your full-time job, but it's something that you love. It's actually amazing when you think about it, what those guys accomplished. But then no one picked up the ball and ran with it. I'm not picking on anyone specifically tonight. Hell, I even share a portion of the blame. After the 2004 season, I needed to step away, but I should have stepped away for a season and came back. But those who had the opportunities to take the ball and carry the tradition started in the USPPBA and Fast Plastic didn't do so. And that leaves us where we are today, scattered. There's an old saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. And the renewed wiffle ball community certainly won't be rebuilt in a day. But if we want to take that next step and get back to the Fast Plastic era and get to even greater heights, we need leaders. We need them both on the field and off the field. There were super talented players in 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, guys who would have easily been premier level talent in Fast Plastic, but they didn't have the chance because Fast Plastic went away, and in going away, a true national championship ceased to be. If you know me, anyone who runs a tournament or an organization has a certain level of respect from me. Organizing tournaments and leagues can be fun and fulfilling. It can also be thankless and tiresome. We need the leaders of the wiffle ball leagues, tournaments, and organizations across the country to come together under one vision. So what's that vision? Simple, if only so. Pooling resources, we need to band together, and we need to recreate the structures that makes it easy to play wiffle ball all summer throughout the country, all while qualifying for the national championship in October. So one of the questions that pops up here is, well, what about the rules? And you know what? At this point, I don't think the rules are a deal breaker. I believe that the hit, pitch, field style of the game is the best set of rules and the one that is the fairest in determining a true national champion. But that doesn't mean that there needs to be exclusions based on rule sets. At least that's from my perspective as we sit here on Wednesday, June 13th, 2018. We want the best leaders and players from around the country. If you are a premier pitcher in a running league, you are wanted. If you are up in Seattle playing in JAW with their unique rule set and are the best up there, you are wanted. If you throw unscuffed balls with gas, you are wanted. If you're playing in Palisades, an organization that Brett Bevilacqua has done a phenomenal job with, take a look around and see if there are other tournaments on non-Palisades weekends, because you are wanted as well. We heard Tim Stewart on the show earlier, and he's trying to get something going in the Southeast again. You know, historically, the Southeast has never been a hotbed like the Northeast or the California, Arizona area. But that makes it even more important. We need people to run events in places that don't have regular tournaments. But we also need people to check the ego at the door. And I know, easier said than done because we all have ego. But when you have multiple people claiming to be quote-unquote national championship tournaments, it does no good. It sends mixed signals to potential teams and players, not to mention potential sponsors. It complicates an already complex set of circumstances even more. Wiffle ball right now is scattered, and we need people to step up and be leaders. Take the torch, run with it. We need that same attitude on the field. I played in every tournament within 100 miles of me from 1998 to 2004. I was in high school and college, didn't have much money, but I played because I loved it. It fulfilled my baseball fix. I don't expect nor ask anyone to be the Georgia Longshots of the late 90s who literally played everywhere. They came to my first tournament in 1998 for no cash prize with 12 teams, and that's where a 20-plus year relationship with Billy Owens began. Again, I don't expect everyone to be the Georgia Longshots, but for every guy like a Jordan Robles or Connor Young who play almost any event that they can make time for, missing the others, take that next step. I know that enthusiasm exists in a lot of current players. Use that passion and energy and try something out of the current place you play. Being an ambassador on the field isn't hard. It's about getting out there and playing. If you want to play just once or twice a year, fine. But that's not who we're looking for. And that's not what the game needs to have sustainable long-term success. For pitchers especially, I certainly don't advocate playing every single weekend. But again, if there's tournaments out there that you haven't tried, go try them. Just play. It really is that simple. Just play. And before I forget, a thank you to the players who do play a lot, because you are counted, you're noted, and your contributions on the field are deeply appreciated. Leaders off the field, plus more whifflers playing on the field throughout the entire summer, is the formula for success. Never been easier to start running tournaments. The internet made the world a hell of a lot smaller. I've been in touch with a group in Japan that wants to come over in the future. In 1998, we don't have any way to connect, even with dial-up internet. But today, that's possible. Be a leader, reach out to Billy, and become a leader off the field running tournaments. We are seeing some quality organizations offering tournament-style play coming back. So players, support them by playing. That support makes the grind and the hard work of running tournaments a little easier. Be a leader on and off the field, and we will collectively get back to the golden days of Fast Plastic much sooner than later. That's my spiel for tonight.
Wow, where do I begin? That was awesome. I was not expecting that, but that's all. You're preaching to the choir here. A couple of questions here. The notes I've written down. So, you're talking about a coming together of the players, of the organizations, like we did back, 20 years ago. Do you have any thoughts on how that would happen today? Have you thought that through at all?
So when you look back in what happened in 2000 and 2001, the 11 people on that original board of directors was a diverse crew. Certainly, not everyone held the same opinion on, everything. We had guys who thought, well, this is, this way is the way things should be done. We had people who had, agendas, and rightfully so. Yet somehow we were able to pull those 11 different personalities into a room and flesh something out. In 2018, no, I don't know how that begins, but I don't know how that happens fully. I know how it begins, and it begins with a conversation, like we're having right now. It's certainly a different landscape today. You've got, a lot more leagues across the country than tournaments. You have, just people are spread out, but, with the internet, we're not as spread out as we think we are. And it may not, necessarily need to be a meeting in person. It may need to be, one-on-one conversations with different folks who, may have different views than we have, and, start to foster those relationships and figure out, okay, you know what? These guys play, they run and they use the yellow bats, but they're playing fast pitch. And you know what? They got some good players. And at the end of the day, we want those good players because we want to play against the best each and every tournament.
Yeah. The other thing I noted here is that there is a competition amongst or between organizations or associations, and that's actually a good thing. That's how it was, back in the days that you're talking about, because it forced, the NJWA forced everybody to be better and run their tournaments better, or else you wouldn't get anybody to show up. So each time a tournament went off, there was an improvement to the way the game was played, and in turn, all the players would benefit from that. That's what we need happening today. You guys,
no doubt,
Mid-Atlantic and Palisades are setting the bar high right now, and that's awesome. Now with Fast Plastic back, we're trying to take it up another notch. Tim Dean, we know he's going to offer some great playing conditions, and so this is what we need. We need it, and we need to keep building upon that.
Yep, and you're exactly right. Back in the day, one of the things of why these individual tournaments used to work back in the day was, okay, there's going to be a tournament in May in Shamokin, Pennsylvania. Okay, I'll go up there. It's about a 4-hour drive. But, hey, Matt Weller, who, runs that tournament and plays on the Bussers, can you reciprocate that and get down to Gaithersburg for a tournament? And we had a lot of that. And that, reciprocity and, just getting to network and understand, who's playing. Because, the thing is, Fast Plastic upped the level of play clearly. It kept going up from 2003 to 2009. But one of the things that made the late 90s interesting is you had your mid-level teams that would come out and like to play, kind of like the PA cards. They were a good team. They were really liked off the field because, they enjoyed their beer. They had a great time at tournaments. They were friendly, and, everyone wanted to hang around with them. And, where we stand right now is teams like that, the Green Turtle from Maryland, a bunch of other teams. I'm not going to list them off right here. Those teams, they helped foster that network, and that helped lay the foundation for the original, okay, let's, get this circuit run, one on the West Coast, one on the East Coast.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly the way it works, and I think we will see some more tournaments start to pop up. I really believe that, especially. I think what it takes is like a ramrodder. If anybody knows what that is, I mean, I'm acting as a ramrod. I'm trying to push people, into doing things that I know are going to work. Some people think about it, but never want to take that step. And it's going to take somebody like me or Fast Plastic or you, Tim, or, back in the day we had Lacasio doing it and Palanzar and all these guys that would pretty much force guys to have to run tournaments. We're going to get back to that. And I'm hoping to force it now and see this thing redevelop and blow up. And I think it will.
And you're exactly right. And, back in 2000, when the USPPBA concept was first brought back, the first tournament that was held that summer, and, maybe we'll talk about this, on another episode, but it was called the Philadelphia Freedom Tournament. And it was called that, a lot of it was for marketing purposes, but it was to show that, all right, there's one organization on the East Coast, the New Jersey Wiffle Ball Association. They're getting all the teams, but we're not happy with how they run their tournaments. And instead of sitting back and doing nothing, we had leaders who got up and said, hey, we're going to make a change. And that's how things get started.
Yeah, you're right. So the demise of what you were speaking of, after Fast Plastic went away, we had Lou running Golden Stick, and it was good. He had a good thing going there. But I think what played a huge hand in the overall demise had a lot to do with the economy. America was not in good shape. There was not a whole lot of money being spent. Travel was getting ridiculous. And I think that played quite a bit into it. But the leadership is just as big, so
yeah, Ben, there's no doubt. I mean, 2008, 2009, certainly the economy, definitely played a role. There's, like I said, we could probably list, 20 different factors that all had, a little bit to do with it. But yeah, you're definitely right about that.
Yeah, and then I would say also that you've got a tool right here to be used, Fast Plastic Radio, along with West Coast Wiffle Report, to Wiffle Dudes, and a number of other guys doing podcasts, where you can report, you can talk about what it is you're trying to do, get people's interest, get people involved. This is a free tool for all of you guys out there that you're thinking about. Maybe you'd like to try to run a tournament. You're not really sure. Well, we're here for you to help you, guide you through. Send me an email. I'll help you however I can. I've got, as Tim knows, I've got a stack of files or whatever, 5 feet tall that has every bit of information that a guy could ever compile about this sport. So somewhere in there, I can figure out how to get something done. So anyway, anything else on that, or do you want to move on now to your upcoming tournament?
No, I will. We'll leave it there, and hopefully let that simmer with some of the listeners, and see if anything comes out of that. So Saturday is Mid-Atlantic's third tournament of the year, and I want to announce our ambitious streaming schedule. We're going to look to stream 5 games right now, and this will be up on our Facebook and Twitter after I'm off the air, but you guys get the announcement first. So we'll be airing the York Yaks versus the Long Balls Blue game at 8 a.m. We'll be streaming the My Name is Earl versus the With His Life Waves at 10 a.m. We'll be streaming Cloud9 versus the Stompers at 2 p.m. We'll broadcast one semifinal game, and we will do the championship game. All times are approximate. We'll be streaming via Facebook, and that's facebook.com/MidAtlanticWiffle. But we will also have a Periscope stream ready as a backup, and that is at MidAtlanticWiff. So we'll send out the accurate start times as the day goes on because, tournaments, we can move a game up or two depending on, how things are going, or they could, be a little bit later. So we'll keep everybody up to date with, okay, this 2 o'clock start time for the Stompers Cloud9 is, going to be more approximately 2:30. So we'll make sure to keep that open on our social media, and, we hope to have some of you follow us along. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting day of Wiffle, and I can't wait till Friday at 4 when I'm done with work and can finally get to the weekend and get this event going.
That's a great feeling, isn't it?
It's a feeling. It's like waking up the day of Christmas. Those Saturday mornings are, just, all right, back on. And we're at a point in June where we've got the sun out from 5:45 to 8:30. So it's going to be an all-day event. Can't wait.
So Tim's going to be on going forward on all shows, or as much as he wants to come on with his editorial pieces, guys. You can expect it to be quality every time out. And we've got to work in a liner for you, Tim. So
yes, we will get to that. I will get with JB off the air, and we'll figure something out.
Yeah, that'll work, Tim. We'll get something really good for you, okay?
Yeah, and
that sounds awesome.
And then the other thing is we didn't get our soundbite from you last week.
Yeah.
We got to get that before you get off the line here.
Go ahead.
Let me give you that. I'll give you that right now. This is Tim Cook and Fast Plastic Radio on WROC 93.5 is my favorite radio station.
All right, cool deal. Appreciate it, Tim.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.
Have a good one.
See ya. All right. Boy, I tell you what, that was a great editorial.
Yeah, that was really good.
He put some work in on that, and I think it was very, very good.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting that much history built into it. So he did a great job.
Let's take a quick break, and when we get back, it's going to be time for the NCT Info Format Brackets right here on Fast Plastic Radio. Don't go anywhere because you're going to miss it if you do.
You're listening to the Fast Plastic Radio Network. Fast Plastic Radio Network.
Burl's Chainsaw Shop. Tired of your mama's steak knives? Use a chainsaw by Burl for all your ball stuffing needs. It's faster. Fast Plastic is back. The 2018 Texas Open in Frisco, Texas. Saturday, October 6th, Columbus Day weekend. Battle through 24 of the hardest hitting teams to take home the most coveted prize in the history of the sport. Fast Plastic. We're back bigger and better. $10,000 and a national championship. Register now. www.fastplasticnct.com. Fast Plastic. It's about the game.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hello, Carl. Tell everyone about your podcast.
Feel comfortable here. You kind of think this is a really good league here. It's almost a football league. As soon as I moved here.
So, Carl, how long have you been playing?
I tried to launch a league. Just tried to launch a league without knowing anyone but besides high school friends, and it just failed miserably. So I was like, let's do it right. Let's get enough people so we know we can have a successful league.
Hey, Carl.
FP fans, don't get coffeeed. Make sure your phone connection's clear when you call the Fast Plastic Radio Network.
Fast Plastic Radio Network. It's about the game.
It is about the game, and we are back with Fast Plastic Radio, and we're getting ready to announce the NCT format brackets here. So, Bill, you want to take that? And as Bill announces these brackets, I will be posting them on the WROC The Rock Facebook page.
You can give us a little background.
Yeah, why not?
Juice it up, JB. There you go. So, just as JB said, I've been holding off on bringing out the format. I was waiting on some other guys to look it over and make sure there weren't any loopholes or flaws in it, which, I mean, there still could be, and we've got 3 more months to work them out, but I think it's pretty good for 24 teams. So anyway, as JB said also, he's going to post these up where everybody can review them, and eventually we will have them up on the Fast Plastic website, which is fastplasticnct.com. And guys, also keep in mind that this is what we foresee being the bracket in case of emergency. I already have other brackets made up, ready to go, but this is the one we're shooting for. And this is roughly based off of what I call the triple shoot format, which was first used in 2008 at the NCT in Austin, which was originally the brainchild of Jerome Coyle a long time ago, where we had discussed it. Wasn't really sure exactly how to pull it off. I spoke with Rich Ewald a little bit about it, and he figured it out, and we used it 2 years. It was awesome, and here we go again. We're going to try to use it this year, or something close to it.
All right, I'm ready to post these as soon as we're done. I've got them up. Just got to hit post.
All right. Well, I'll quit stalling here, right? I'm in stall mode. Okay, so each page is a round in the tournament. So looking at page 1 or slide number 1, it says teams are divided into 3 8-team pools. So 24 teams, break it down, 8, 8, 8, and you're almost playing a double elimination 8-team bracket tournament. Almost, not quite, because we're actually going to play a couple more games in those scenarios. So on slide 1, obviously all teams enter with no win-loss record. And at the end of the first round of games, all teams will either be 1-0 or 0-1. So what you're looking at on slide number 1, this is for the one of the 8-team brackets. So multiply this by 3. Okay, so we're going to stick with 6 fields this year, just simply to better the quality of each field and make it more manageable rather than setting up 10 fields and having equipment problems. We're going to go with quality over quantity. So anyway, slide 1 is about the easiest to understand. I don't think there should be any questions there. So let's move now to slide number 2. Page 2, slide 2. So on this page, it says teams are now either 1-0 or 0-1. This is the preliminary round number 2. So on the left, you see 2 games on field 1 and 2, field 2. All those teams, those 4 teams are 1-0. On the right, you see the 2 games. Teams are 0-1 and those 2 games as well. So at the end of this round, we're going to have 2 teams that will be 2-0, 4 teams that are going to be 1-1 and 2 teams that are going to be 0-2. Multiply that by 3 because we've got 3 of these brackets going simultaneously, and you can figure out the numbers from there. And by the way, each 8-team pool utilizes 2 fields the entire duration. All right, on to slide number 3, page number 3, or preliminary round number 3. So this round will conclude the preliminary games for the tournament. So as you see now, the first bracket on the left states that one game on field number 1 will be between the 2 teams that are 2-0. In the middle, the 2 0-2 teams will play on field number 2. And all the way to the right, you see field 1 and 2 stacked there. That's teams that are 1-1 with a 1-1 win-loss record. So everybody is playing teams with similar win-loss records up to this point. Upon conclusion of round 3, all teams are seeded for playoff round number 1. All teams that are 3-0 receive seeds number 1, 2, and 3 in the playoffs. So again, pretty basic, pretty simple to understand. No smoke and mirrors there, guys. Well, let's move on to slide number 4, page number 4. JB, are you with us over there?
Oh, yeah. I just posted number 4 so the viewers can see it. It's on the Facebook page.
Is there mass anarchy going on right now?
I don't think so. Not quite yet. I've been seeing a lot of likes and stuff coming up on the live, though. The live view.
All right. So again, guys, this is just about keep it simple. Trying to keep it simple. No need to get all crazy on all kinds of crap. Meaningless games are out. I'm not big on that. We got to eliminate all meaningless games. So slide number 4, page number 4. You see at the top in green, playoffs round number 1. So there are 9 games here. 9 games total for playoffs round number 1. These could almost be called play-in games to get into the playoff brackets. So start up at the top, right under the green print. There will be 3 teams that are 3-0. They've already advanced. They're out of this. You've got then 18 total teams that either have a 2-1 record or a 1-2 record. And then we have 3 teams that are going to be 0-3. They've been eliminated from the tournament. They are now booking standby flights to get back home, just like Danny Lanigan once did.
That's kind of rough.
I had to put that in there. I like giving Danny a hard time there. So that brings us now to our 9 games. And the way those 9 games are going to be laid out, we are going to seed the 18 teams remaining with a 2-1 and 1-2 record. They will be seeded based on run differential, and runs allowed in that order. And the way it's going to work is the 9 2-1 teams will play the 9 1-2 teams, right? So you've got a team with a better win-loss record playing a team with a bad or a worse win-loss record, which gives a slight advantage to the team with the better win-loss record, I would think. So once those 9 games are played, the winners then, as you see in red, bottom left, winners of these 9 games then are reseeded for playoff round number 2. Follow me, JB?
I'm with you.
All right. Let's now move into slide number 5, which is the last one, page number 5, and it states in green, playoffs, finals bracket. So this is it, guys. We now have 12 teams that have advanced to the final bracket elimination play. 12, which is half of the field of teams that have advanced, which is really good. Seeds 1 through 4 receive a first round bye. Now, you're probably saying, wait a minute, I thought there were only 3 3-0 teams. Well, you're right. But we're going to take the best team from the 9 previous games and give them the 4 seed, and they're going to fill that slot. And I can bet you everything that I own, it will be a team with a 3-1 record. And it's going to be the team with the best run differential, then the best runs allowed if it comes down to it. But I have a very long list of tiebreakers that we will use to determine all the seeding. Use those for years. So then it's just straight play it out, guys. It's pretty simple there. But I have to say that emphasis, every game has meaning. There are no pushover games here, meaning that if you're going to go into it and, let's say, throw your C or D pitcher and give up 10 runs but win 12-10, that's going to come back to bite you. It's going to cause you to get a lower seed and potentially eliminate you from the tournament. So every game, emphasis on every game, play your best. And the last note I have here, so 3 teams in this tournament will end up having an opportunity to go 6-0 or play only 6 games to win this tournament. Only 3 teams will have that opportunity. Everybody else will be playing a minimum of 7 games, which is fair. So as you see, I have, according to this format, I have the championship game beginning at 8 p.m. and completing somewhere around 9:30 p.m. Guys, I know this firsthand from running these tournaments in Texas for years and living in Texas many, many, many years. It gets dark in the Dallas-Fort Worth area on Columbus Day weekend around 7:30 p.m. this time of the year. So we'll be in the twilights. It's going to be perfect, absolutely perfect. All the videos that you've watched of those night games back in the day, we're going to relive that with this championship game. So that's going to be exciting. So anyway, as you see, the 2018 Fast Plastic Texas Open NCT champion will be crowned at 9:30 p.m. So that's it, JB. What do you think?
I think that's pretty cool. 9:30 p.m. NCT champion crowned, and they'll be getting a big cash money award.
A minimum $10,000.
That's right.
$10,000.
Yeah.
If you knock off Cloud9 or the team formerly known as Cloud9, it will be significantly more per
Absolutely.
Jonathan King Racing Stables.
You can't beat that.
You can't. You cannot. It's just going to be a great time. We got Tim Dean coming up to run the show. Another big announcement, guys. So last week, I said anybody out there interested in coming in to do the play-by-play for video for these big games, let me know. I had a lot, and I decided I'm going to scrape the bottom of the bucket.
Who?
Very last.
Who?
It's like digging guys out of a sewer. I had to.
Wow, that's pretty low.
I had to bite it and say, all right, so I'm going to, unless something drastic happens, our play-by-play guys will be, drum roll, JB.
Yeah.
Troop Brinson and Smooch, Chris Moncrief, coming in from way down yonder, way down south to do this for us. Now, Troop has a lot of experience doing this. He used to do the Fast Plastic videos for us back in the day. He's been playing for a long time. He's pitched. He knows the game. He should call a really good game. And Smooch is one heck of a color guy. I think he could be quite entertaining, to say the least.
Sounds good. Sounds like a good lineup.
Well, we're scraping the bottom there with those guys.
Yeah, but that's probably better than me doing it, though.
Well, we'll also probably have JB there as well, and I may fly in a very special guest as well. Yet to be announced. Yeah, secret. So,
all right, so everybody, if you've just tuned in, the brackets are posted on the Facebook page, WROC The Rock. Be sure and check them out, share them. And while you're sharing, make sure you share our live feed. Share it on your page. Let's get the word out. Let's hit those high view marks. We're doing good.
Can you tell us who shared last week?
Yeah, I can. Just give me just a second to get down to it here. We had 13 shares last week. And the 13 shares, Charlie Berger, Brandon Rowland, Way Too Beautiful, Chad Heflin, Jim Dalby, Peter Mockabee. Let's see here. Kevin Babler, Babs, Big Flies. Everybody keeps sharing stuff and it's knocking me off. Let's see here. Let me get back on here. And there it goes again. All right. Will Marshall, Dawson Strickland, Carl Coffey, Palisades WB, and Tom Gannon. All shared. We appreciate that, guys.
Very good. Thank you.
Absolutely.
JB, are we going to take any callers or?
You know, I think that we're going to take callers. I posted earlier on the chat that at 8:35 Central Standard Time would be opening up the phone lines. And why not go ahead and just do it right now? 618-200-9260. The number is posted on the chat. I'll get it thrown up there again. But the lines are open. If you want to call in, you want to talk, hit that phone. All you got to do is let your fingers do the walking.
Well, we did a pretty good job with the time tonight, getting through everybody. I like that. Worked up pretty well. I can tell you once again tonight that $100 registration fee for the Fast Plastic Texas Open is still out there. Take advantage of it. You have, about 2.5 weeks left. Take advantage of it. Get your team together. Get signed up. It's going to jump up in July.
Yep. Get in there. Get signed up. Get it done now. You don't have to worry about it. Then you can just sit back and relax. Hey, we've got a call coming in here, so let me hit the... Well, we had one. He hung up on me.
Oh, prank callers, man.
I think they were trying to coffee us.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Looked like it was Brett Bevilacqua that was calling in.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Guess he chickened out on us there.
Right. And again, registered teams right now, quite a few actually for being so far out. Quite a few teams already signed up. I think we're going to expect 6, possibly 7 teams coming in from the far west. We're expecting 6 coming in from Texas alone, guys. So that doesn't leave many slots. So, all right, JB, go ahead.
All right, Brett, you're on there. What's going on? Brett, do you hear me?
JB, I think we're having some serious phone issues over there.
I don't know. I think it's Brett that's having the phone issues because that's the 3rd time he's called. So
he's calling from a cave somewhere.
He's on a tin can with a string, I believe. I don't know. I don't know. How about I just reach out to him? Well, here he comes again. So let's try this again here. All right, Brett, hang on. We're going to get you. Hey, you're on Fast Plastic Radio, Brett.
All right, now I think we're all right. I went to your voicemail the first time, so you weren't taking any calls right now.
Well,
according to your voicemail,
we were taking calls. I just didn't see it come up. My bad.
Oh, it's all right. I heard you guys throwing some stuff out there at me. I'm gonna chickened out to be on the Fast Plastic Radio show. That ain't happening.
Yeah.
I don't want to take up too much of your time. Love the show so far tonight. We're not playing this weekend, as you've heard. There's a tournament in Mid-Atlantic. But next weekend, game of the week, 12:20.
Okay. Got Rob, the Cardinals, Rob Longeroux pitching, right?
No, he's already been on.
Yeah, I know.
So it's, how could we go to, how can we go back there? But what we do have, I think we're going to have Tyler Wegerson versus Dan Whitener, Expos, White Sox, 12:20 p.m. on the 24th.
All right. Well, tell us what we can expect in that matchup.
I think he was saying it wrong. Shouldn't have been 12:20.
Oh yeah, you can expect strikeout.
There you go.
And probably a home run at some point. But there should. I think we will see a significant number of strikeouts and then a home run. You know, similar to the last game, but different.
Yeah. So here, Brett, I have asked you for some advice here. So Sunday, I get up, pilfering around in the morning. I think I'm, get up 5 a.m., 6 a.m., whatever. Breakfast, out, do some errands, get some exercise, work in my garden, whatever. It's getting hot. It's like 90 with 98% humidity. Come in, relax. By this time, it's noon, and I completely forget about game of the week. So I have to catch it on the rebound. What can a guy do to be reminded to get on and watch game of the week while it's live? What's it going to take?
It's going to take a community effort. Everyone's got to get excited. It's Sunday, game of the week day. We're trying. Sometimes the schedule just lends itself to we want to do an afternoon game. But we never get the right numbers, and as the playoffs come up, we're going to even try to get it earlier so you're not, you people don't forget. But we need the community to start spreading the. I'll send out a tweet or a Facebook thing in the morning, get people started. I guess I have to just keep on tweeting, but I need shares. I need help. You guys are great with promoting our game. We're just doing huge numbers now, and the bigger it gets, the better for everyone. I mean, that is, people are going to start. Saying, what's this all about? So, 10,000, 20,000, 100 million viewers.
It's like Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Yeah. It's wiffle ball afternoon in America.
Yeah.
But the better thing is you get to see it at 11:20.
Yeah.
So you set up your salami, your provolone, you sit back in a nice chair.
Or in the bathtub even.
It's definitely in the bathtub. But I figured you guys aren't over here on the East Coast. Why would you do that?
Yeah, it's like when I lived out in LA, getting up at 9. Back when I was really into football, I'd have to get up at 9 o'clock to watch NFL games. To be up and be ready in time for the game to come on. I'm like, man, I can't get used to this. But I have a few friends out there, and when I was young, I'd go out there a lot. And if you're a partier and you're all busted up on Sunday morning, you can kind of just lay on the floor and watch football. And then if you watch like the 1 o'clock games here on the East Coast, it's 1 o'clock when they're over out there, so you still got the whole day. Here, where not that I would spend my time watching football when wiffle ball's on, but yeah.
Another caller calling in right there.
So one thing too, should we be planning to get you back in for an upcoming editorial possibly for next week or again soon?
I mean, if you need me, yeah, but haven't they heard enough? I figured I was going over the top calling in this time, but I wanted to get the game out, and I'll send a promo to you guys for the next show.
Yeah.
But, too much of me is definitely not a good thing.
Definitely send those promos to us, okay?
Yeah.
I will. I tried to get it done today, but it just was impossible.
All right. Well, I have to say, man, that game of the week this past week was incredible. I enjoyed it. I went back and watched it very closely. And guys, the games don't get much better than that. I mean, I've seen a ton of games like you, Brett, and that's just a classic all-star
that was a good one.
matchup. Yeah, it was incredible. So
I think what we got coming up in 11 days, you're going to like it. Yeah. It's going to be a couple of guys you haven't seen before, a bunch of names you know. Well, not a bunch, but you're going to know some names there, and then there's going to be new guys that maybe on the big stage they'll do something.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. So we will. We'll push it next week. We're going to get off here. We're getting calls like crazy.
Call here, Brett. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Have a good one.
Fast Plastic Radio, you're on the air.
This is Mock from Southern California.
Mock, how you doing? Peter Mockabee, correct?
Doing great. Yeah, that's me.
So what's going on tonight, Pete?
I'm just enjoying the show. Thought I'd give you guys a call. Enjoying the time you guys give us every Wednesday. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate it, and we enjoy doing it.
Absolutely.
So you have a tournament coming up, right? Coming up sometime later this summer that you want to tell us about? JB, did he drop?
I know he's still on there. Hey, Mock, are you still there?
Well, let's drop.
You know what?
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
I'm here. That was my bad on the mute button.
I've done that myself a time or two. So you got a tournament coming up. So tell us about it.
So here we go. We're going to follow the Fast Plastic Rulebook on June 30th here in Southern California, in Uplands, California. I've been blessed with picking up decaf old fields from back in the day. So I got two of his awesome Chaos Field fields. So we'll be setting those up, having a nice basketball tournament. Oakland Bombers are coming down. It should be a good little tournament we've got going on.
Very nice. Those are the Wiffle Nation fields I played on many times. It doesn't get much better than that. And
I was able to pick up two of them from him, and they're still holding strong today.
have you, by chance, have you spoken with Decaf any time lately at all?
We can inquire each other on Facebook. Other than that, no. Every once in a while, I think he's up to date on what I'm going, with tournaments and stuff because he's in my group text on Facebook. But other than that, he chimes in every once in a while.
Yeah, I'd like to get him on the show sometime. Talk to him. So tell us, Mock, where exactly Upland is located there in Southern California, just in case guys want to find you.
It's just west of like Rancho Cucamonga, which is basically like the 10 and the 15 freeway out in the San Bernardino area. So it's about an hour outside of LA. More out in the suburbs, the cheaper living. So that's basically where it is. Very close to Ontario Airport if anybody wants to fly in and join us. So
yeah,
that's pretty much where we're at.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, that's pretty easy access going in and out of Ontario. It's not as busy as what you're going to get with LAX. You don't have to fight through all the craziness of the traffic trying to get out that way. So that'd be a great place to go into. And while I got you on the phone, Mock, can you talk a little bit about your team you've got registered for the Texas Open?
Yeah, we registered pretty early. Those two guys, we got James Stein and Boomer. So we're representing 3 states. We just kind of hodgepodged it all together because I knew Sylvie and Cologne were going to play as a 2-man, and I wasn't sure what Dalby and Valiant were going to do. So I just kind of jumped in on that little squad, named it after kind of a wiffle ball team I've named myself for a while called the Whippets, and we'll just go after it. We're probably kind of that mid-range, everybody's really good, average player that can do what we need to do to win. So I think we'll have a good time, be competitive, and hopefully try to squeak out some upsets there.
That's good. I haven't seen Boomer pitch in a long time. I think probably since 2007. So how many innings you think he has in his arm these days?
He mentioned he could try to work it up to get about 8 innings. I think James is going to be our innings eater at the end there, and I might throw a game if it's close or if it's blown out. But yeah, we're hoping to just be quality pitching and hit the ball and do what we can.
Yeah, that's a good approach to have. So, well, great. I will have to talk to you after your tournament and get you back on the show sometime. But thanks for calling in, Pete. We appreciate it.
Have a good one, Pete.
Sounds good, Billy. Thanks, JB.
Yep, have a good one. All right, phone lines are back open. We've if you want to call in, go ahead and hit us. We had a caller calling in right there when Mock was on the line. The lines are open.
Yeah, I keep hearing that tone, JB. What does that tone mean?
That's somebody trying to call in.
So that's a lot then.
Yeah, we're getting quite a few. So wow, that last caller that was just trying to call, hit us back up. 618-200-9260. Get you on the Fast Plastic Radio Network with Billy O and myself, JB. And here we go.
Here's another call.
Yeah. Fast Plastic Radio, you're on the air.
Yes. John Thomas. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, part of the Atlanta Wiffle Association. How y'all doing?
We're doing great. Thanks for calling in tonight.
Yes, sir.
You have any?
Sorry.
I was just going to say, what do you have to talk about tonight? Anything good?
Oh man, I'm just excited about wiffle ball is really kind of native to the Northeast, Vermont, Connecticut, New Hampshire. shoes to yours, but we're playing some really good ball down here in the South. Richard Tyler has done a wonderful job getting the league together. We're looking forward to competing in the national level tournament here in Tennessee next month with some really, really good teams from all over here in the region. I believe we're getting a team from Massachusetts coming out here too. So it's a really great sport. I guess I'm kind of addicted now.
Yeah, that's great, man. It sounds like you guys have a pretty good thing going. What part of Atlanta do you run your league?
Well, we run our league mainly on the perimeter, which is I-70, kind of on the north side of Atlanta. Is where our games are. We have the Atlanta Football Association. We have our games, our midweek games. For the medium pitch is actually being played at the Battery, which is just outside of SunTrust Park. So our field is literally right outside of the right field gate, right in the plaza area.
Yeah.
So it's a really great environment. So it kind of feels like you're playing football in a major league park. It's a great atmosphere. And our fast pitch games are held Saturdays at Lake Court Park, which is about 10 minutes from there in Smyrna, Georgia, where we have a kind of a Palisades type theme. So it's really awesome thing.
Yeah, I think I was looking at a video earlier of your team because it looked like there was a major league stadium in the background.
That's us.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So how does a player in Atlanta looking to play, how do they get a hold of you, and are you guys open to accepting new players?
Right now, we're in the midst of our summer leagues, so our leagues are going already. So we're looking really at subs right now. For people to just basically just type in Atlanta Football Association. It'll be a league lineup website. It'll be the first match you see. So you can sign up to be a sub, or you can email. I don't have Rich's email off the top of my head, or you can shoot him an email and stay in touch with him. Or everyone's on Facebook now, so just type in Atlanta Football into your browser and send a message directly to Richard that way, and get more information with that. But we love our league. It's a lot of fun. As a former college baseball player, it's definitely being able to play competitive football here in Atlanta and around the Southeast. It's been a really great thing. It's really kind of scratched that itch.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You'll have to reach out to wiffleballtournaments.com and get your games listed on there.
Well, we must, absolutely. This page put a friend request in for me today, and I was like, wow. There's a podcast, so let me call these folks, see what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're glad you did. And hey, when you get time, do me a favor, if you don't mind, send me an email at fastplasticnct@gmail.com so I can get you in my database. And in case I'm ever in Atlanta, I can get a hold of you. And of course, I'm not a Facebook guy, believe it or not. JB does all that. I don't do Facebook. So, but anyway, really appreciate you calling in tonight. And, anytime you need any info spread, let us know and we'll broadcast it for you.
Yeah, be sure and check out our Facebook page, WROC The Rock. We stream Fast Plastic Radio Network every Wednesday right here starting at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Got a lot of great information on the wiffle ball.
Oh wow, that's wonderful, man. I mean, it's kind of like I got involved in a social co-ed league a year ago, and I've just gone deeper and deeper in the wiffle universe, and it's just a beautiful place to live.
Absolutely.
In wiffle universe is what I like to call it. So fastplasticnct@gmail.com. I'll shoot you an email, my information. I'm Don Thomas, and I'm one of the best hitters in the doggone country.
Well, you need to come on out to Texas and prove that.
Hey, but shoot, I might have to then.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks for calling in.
All right. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me.
Have a good one, Don. Thanks, man.
Take care.
All right. There's another new listener, new caller, too, to the Fast Plastic Radio Network.
Yeah, that's good deal. Good deal right there.
Absolutely, yeah. He said he just found out about it, about the whole show. Didn't know about it. So that's pretty awesome.
That's one of many, many, many thousands.
Absolutely.
That's always been the thing. I call those guys woodworkers. Woodworkers, because we always would have these discussions about how do we find these players that come out of the woodwork, right? They got to come out of the woodwork. How do we find these guys? Well, guess what, guys? We now have these tools at our disposal to find the woodworkers.
Well, it's just like Tim Cook said, back in 98, you didn't know how to get a hold of people. And now he's talking to people in Japan that's wanting to come over and play in tournaments. I mean, that's just awesome.
Yeah. The Japanians.
Yeah. So again, phone lines are open, 618-200-9260. Call us up here at FPRN. We'll put you on the air. We'll hear what you got to say.
Anybody have any negative feedback on the tournament bracket? If you do, call me up. Be nice. Tell me what you don't like about it. I'm probably not going to do anything about it, but at least you can voice your opinion.
Absolutely.
On the record.
All right. So we've still got about 9 minutes here.
Yeah. So what else? We got any other news here, JB? It seems like I'm forgetting something like we were going to discuss.
We covered everything on the sheet here. I'm pretty sure we did.
As of right now, no guests slated for next week. I've
Really?
Well, we had a short week this week because we did the show on Thursday.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true.
And man, I've been really busy doing other things and sort of dropped the ball for lining up guests. But believe it or not, it's rather easy to get guests. And there's literally 100 guys out there that are willing to come on. I just got to contact them. If you're a guy, you want to come on the Fast Plastic Radio Network, you heard it, call the show now. We'll set it up. Send me an email, fastplasticnct@gmail.com. How do they contact The Rock, JB?
Go to the Facebook, WROC, The Rock's the Facebook page. You can send us a message on Messenger that way, or you can email us here at The Rock at WROC935, TheRock@gmail, and leave us a message that way, or call the number. We do have if we're not live on the air, we do have voicemail. You can leave a voicemail for us, and we'll get back to you that way too.
Yeah, and I know there's been quite a few guys over the past month or two since we've been doing this that stated they wanted to come on, and I have not been able to get you on just simply because I've already had all these other guests lined up. So next week is the time. So if you're still interested, let me know. That would be the time I can get you on.
Yeah, because otherwise we can have a show full of crickets.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll take a brief look in the history of wiffle ball.
You want to run a couple of ad spots?
Yeah, let's
JB?
do that. Let's
probably need to get that in when we have time.
Take a quick break. We're going to start off with this one, I think.
Fast Plastic is back. The 2018 Texas Open in Frisco, Texas. Saturday, October 6th, Columbus Day weekend. Battle through 24 of the hardest hitting teams to take home the most coveted prize in the history of the sport. Fast Plastic. We're back bigger and better. $10,000 in a national championship. Register now. www.fastplasticnct.com. Fast Plastic. It's about the game. Best way to tell the world about your upcoming tournament is Fast Plastic Radio and WiffleBallTournaments.com. WiffleBallTournaments.com is here to help you locate tournaments all over the nation and find the ones closest to home. If you know of any tournaments that we don't have listed, let us know. We're here to help everyone, players and directors alike. Spread the word, WiffleBallTournaments.com. You can contact WiffleBallTournaments.com, W2BWiffle@gmail.com, WiffleBallTournaments.com.
Hey everybody, DP here. Tune in Sundays to the West Coast Wiffle Report live on Blog Talk Radio as we chronicle all things wiffle ball.
Now the pitch. That's a high drive, deep right center, way back. Might be out of here. It's off the wall. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. A third man scores.
Do you want to hit like a pro? Big Flies, changing the way you play one bat at a time. Handmade, lightweight wood bats, custom designed to individual orders in Chico, California. You can reach Big Flies through Babs Big Flies on Facebook Messenger or simply by calling Kevin 530-513-7371. Big Flies, changing the way you play one bat at a time.
You're listening to the Fast Plastic Radio Network.
I am Adam Milstead, and my favorite station is Fast Plastic Radio.
My name is Inigo Montoya, and I listen to Fast Plastic Radio. This is Babs from Chico, California, and Big Flies, and I listen to Fast Plastic Radio.
This is Sylvie Serrano, Oakland, California, and I listen to FP Radio. And Carl Coffey. I'm Jim Balling. I'm from Peoria, Arizona, and The Rock is my favorite wiffle ball network, hands down.
Jared Lamp, founder, owner of Moonshot Bats, Fast Plastic Radio Network.
Fast Plastic Radio Network. It's about the game.
Absolutely about the game here at FPRN. And we're down to the last 4 minutes of the show. We still have lines open if you want to call in, 618-200-9260. We'll get you in the studio for the last couple of minutes. If you want to talk about something, feel free.
Well, I say we give it 1 minute, and if we don't get a call, I'm cashing them in.
All right, sounds like a plan.
I'm not that desperate to talk to anybody else
tonight. Well, be sure and check out the brackets on the Facebook page for the NCT coming up here in October, Columbus Day weekend. It's the Texas Open NCT. $10,000 goes to the winner of that tournament, and of course, if you beat Cloud9 or the team formerly known as Cloud9, it's going to be a little extra. It's going to come your way, so that's pretty good. And you can go to www.fastplasticnct.com to register for that game up until what's the cutoff for the $100 registry?
June 30th.
June 30th. We're getting there fast. So if you're going to register, you better get it done then. Yeah. Otherwise, it goes up to
$150.
So you're going to get a $50 discount. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to get anybody else to call in. So what do you say we cut it and get out of here?
I'm for it. Let's do it.
All right, guys, gals, till next week. I'm JB, and this is your host, Billy O. We're out of here. Be sure and tune in next week on Fast Plastic Radio Network to find out what's going on in the world of wiffle ball.
Damage around this popsicle stand. I'm out of here!
Corporate Succotash, I wish you'd reconsider.
We hope you enjoyed